Thursday and it is not my weighing day today. However, this is going to be a weighing video. I did weigh in on Monday, but I was not very well at all and just didn't really have the energy to film and upload, so I'm sorry that I am a little bit late, but I didn't want to miss it entirely, so here we are today. So last week was pretty good overall. I did really well with my food choices. I did okay with tracking. I didn't do it every day perfectly, but to be totally honest, in terms of tracking, I think it's more of just a gauge for myself to know sort of roughly how I'm doing. But I do want to move into a place where I'm tracking accurately all the time, so that I do have like a factual piece of information to refer back to when I weigh in. If I've done really well, I can look back and go, there you go, that's how you did it. If I didn't do so well, I can look back and go, well, this is why. So yeah, I do want to move into a place where I'm tracking all the time consistently and accurately. But in terms of sort of, for now, I'm not being too super strict about it. It's more just having that everyday mindset and focus on my health, my weight loss, and my fitness overall. But yeah, I made some really good food choices. I made us a stir fry last week, which is it's a usual sort of meal in this household. We love a stir fry, and I made some adaptations to mine. Rather than having the egg noodles, I sprinkled on some nuts, and I decided not to have any sort of like sauce. So normally I would have like some teriyaki sauce or some, you know, the standard sort of stir fry sauces that come with the meal kits. But I just didn't, for whatever reason, I just didn't fancy it. You're gonna have to forgive me. I'm gonna have to keep drinking water and keep myself hydrated because it is mega hot. Super hot in the UK at the moment. And I am getting over an illness, so I'm trying to stay as hydrated as possible. So yeah, I just wasn't fancying the sauce, so I just steamed some stir-fried veggies, and also rather than choosing the meal kits, I opted for just choosing the fresh veggies individually, because I thought I want to build my own. I want to put in everything I love in a stir fry. So yeah, got some pak choy, got some sugar snap peas, some mushrooms, some bean sprouts, just all the yummy sort of stir fry veggies, peppers and what have you. I steamed them and then just cooked my protein, sprinkled in the nuts, and it was the nicest stir fry I've ever personally made for myself. So yeah, really happy with that, and going forward I'm going to continue to do that with my stir fries. Really enjoyed the addition of sort of like the mixed nuts that I put in there. Yeah, just overall some really good food choices. Still absolutely loving my kefir. Not really been having it for breakfast because I haven't been super hungry in the morning. I usually throw sort of like a couple of pieces of fruit in my bag as I head out to work, and sometimes I'll have my apple or banana on the way in. Sometimes I'm not hungry and I might have it when I get there. But it's more just about sort of like not sticking to a strict regime with food and just listening to my body and eating the foods when I feel like I need it. I think I did a little bit better overall with my sort of sugar consumption, not having quite as many fruit options, trying to sort of reach for the more veggie or protein based things. And yeah, just in terms of food, pretty good. Obviously I was out sort of over the weekend at a couple of different events, and similarly to last weekend, I didn't sort of put any sort of strict rules or regulations on myself, just sort of to go with my health commitments and things in the forefront of my mind. And I feel like that worked really well. I didn't feel deprived. I didn't feel like I cheated on diet. I didn't feel any guilt or shame or anything. And yeah, so I feel like that is something that is going forward going to work really well. I just think I don't normally go out like every weekend. It's just for whatever reason, it's sort of like fallen. I've started picking up the camera when I've just got quite a lot of sort of events and things planned. But I think it's good in a sense that I'm sort of learning to manage and migrate those weekends and days where it's not so possible to be super on sort of plan or on mindset or whatever. I think it's good to try and learn now how to negotiate those kind of activities and days and things in the best way possible, and also just not feel super guilty about it as well. So I didn't sort of go overboard with the drinking and things like that, which I think really helped because I wasn't hungover over the weekend. However, I did, obviously, like I said on Monday, this bug that's been sort of floating around the house for a few weeks now definitely took its toll. And yeah, just did not feel super well at all. So that was a bit frustrating, as last week I managed to go on 2 bike rides, which I was so super chuffed about. I'm really enjoying them and I'm super keen to get back out on my bike. I want to make Mondays like the day where I do something a little bit sort of more physically challenging than my everyday sort of 10k step, things like that. It's technically my Sunday, so if I make Monday the day to do the longer sort of like more strenuous workouts, I can't see any reason why I can't keep up to that. Other than this Monday when I really wasn't feeling great, I don't think it would have been a good idea to go on a bike ride at all. So yeah, really chuffed with my overall sort of efforts and things last week. As always, I could have done better. I feel like I'm gonna say that every week just because I'm so hard on myself and think that there's always room for improvement, but that's what this sort of journey is about, is like reflecting and sort of cheering myself on where I feel like I've done well, and then sort of looking at the areas I could improve, and rather than being super hard on myself because I am only human, just thinking, you know, next week is a new week to improve on those areas. So with my weigh-in, if you watched last week's weigh-in video, you will know that I had a gain of 2 pounds, but I said that I didn't think that was a true reflection of my weight at that current stage, because I'd had quite a sort of food heavy, drink heavy weekend, and just more food than normal were sat in my body. Weight fluctuates like crazy. I mean, I could drink this whole thing of water, hop on the scale and be like 5 pounds heavier. It doesn't mean that I've gained 5 pounds of fat. It just means that there's 5 pounds worth of more sort of fluid or volume in whatever capacity in my body. And there's lots of different things that factor into that. My inflammation can create crazy fluctuations on the scale. So I'm pleased that I didn't let that bother me too much. I think I've got to a place now where I don't listen to the scale too much. I listen more to my body and how I'm feeling, and more in sense than in like giving the scale so much power to sort of dictate my feelings. So yeah, I definitely felt that that was a bit of a artificial gain. I didn't think that it was a true reflection of what my weight was. So feeling like this weekend could have been quite similar. I thought it was a good idea to weigh in prior to the weekend. So I weighed in on Thursday, which would have been the 25th of July, and I weighed in that day at 13 stone 12.4, which definitely, I personally feel like makes my point that it wasn't a true gain, because there's just no way that I would lose 4 pounds in that short amount of time. It's just not happening. So I don't think I did lose 4 pounds. I think it was just that my weight on that Monday was artificial. And my weigh-in on Monday was 14 stone 0.8 pounds exactly, which was a loss of 2 pounds, 2.4 pounds, 2.4 pounds from the previous Monday. But I mean, Thursday was literally just for me, because I was intrigued. I'm not classing it as a weigh-in. In fact, I need to delete it out my app, which I'll do in a moment. But essentially, today's weigh-in, I've lost 2.4 pounds from last Monday. The Thursday weigh-in is literally just to sort of prove my point of the fact that it's not... I think if I was to hazard some kind of a accurate guess, I think my weight is sitting somewhere around 13 stone 12, 13 stone 13. I think that's probably more accurate. However, like on Monday, although I didn't go crazy over the weekend, more heavier foods, refined foods, inflammation, drinking, all that kind of stuff comes into play yet again, and I think that's why. But it's no big deal. The most important thing is that I think I had a really good week with my foods and with my exercise, and yeah, I just feel like I am in a really good sort of mindset towards my weight loss at the moment. It's certainly the first plan I've done in a long time, or maybe, dare I say, forever, where I felt just at ease with it. Like, I felt really, really sort of in tune with it, and it's not something that I'm battling. It's something that I'm wanting to do better with and work harder on and learn more. It's just resonating with me in a way that feels like I want to do this. It's not like, oh, I can't, you know, waking up and thinking I can't eat this, or I can't have that, or I can't do this, or I can't go there, or how am I going to do this? It's more of just like a learning experience, and learning that, you know, when I eat these foods I feel really good. Okay, sometimes I'll have this and it might not make me feel so good, but I don't have to beat myself up about it. There's not an ounce of like guilt or shame attached there. It's just learning to balance everything in the right way. So yeah, I feel really good about that, and I'm hoping that I can just keep continuing to build upon this new mindset and sort of like lifestyle, really. And I don't think it's probably something I've said many times over the years of sort of documenting this journey on YouTube, where I've gone, this is it, this is it, this is the one, this is the time. And I'm not ashamed of it, because if you are making a conscious effort to improve your health or improve your fitness or improve anything to do with your life, and you start on that journey and you get 1 day in or 2 days in or 2 weeks in and think, this isn't working, this isn't right for me, or you just, you know, for whatever reason you don't stick to it, but then you pick it back up and you go, okay, I did that, I'm going to try again. You know, there should be absolutely no shame in trying again. And if you're in a similar position where you have tried and not succeeded to your goals, it doesn't mean you can't get that. You know, it's just don't feel like ashamed to share, or, you know, just keep trying. There's absolutely no shame in it whatsoever. Another really exciting thing that's happened this week is I reached my 10k step a day goal for 1 year. 1 solid year of doing at least 10k steps a day. Now, when I set out to do this back in August last year, I took on the challenge with Laura, and we set out to do 10k steps a day, at least as like a streak with each other, as just a little bit of friendly motivation and encouragement. And I didn't intend or set out a strict period of time to do it. I didn't go into it thinking I was going to do it for a solid year. There wasn't really any stipulation other than I was going to do 10k steps, and yeah, and I was just going to motivate Laura, I suppose. And she actually encouraged me to do it initially, because Laura had been doing streaks with running and just fitness and things in general for years and years, and did some really, really epic streaks, and I just felt it was just such a cool concept, and I wanted something that I could do every single day that didn't seem like super out there. I mean, at the time, 10,000 steps a day it was a challenge. It wasn't like a super easy thing to take on. And over the course of the year, there's definitely been days where my body's been screaming at me not to do it. I've been so fatigued, I've been so tired, mentally and physically drained, and you know, I've just got myself up off the sofa, and even if I've just stood in one spot, marched in front of the telly, or you know, marched while I've been cooking tea, whatever it's been, however it's been done, I've got here. I've got a year in, and yeah, it's pretty insane. I think the main sort of benefit, or the main takeaway from it, has been that it's shown me that if I make a true commitment to something and do it for a long enough period of time, it definitely becomes second nature. And also, once I get to a certain stage, I find it really difficult to then stop. So I think it must have been about maybe 3 months in to doing it consistently every day. And the first time that I went, oh, I just can't be bothered with this today, I think I must have got home and had like 9,000 steps to do. There was definitely a time as well in the early days where my Apple Watch hadn't charged properly, and I didn't accumulate my steps throughout sort of the day. I didn't have my phone with me. There was something, and it meant that when I got home, I had to essentially do the 10,000 steps. So I remember specifically looking at my app. So for those of you who don't know, I would super recommend downloading this app. It's the Pedometer Plus. I'll put it on screen so you can see. And I remember looking at my app and seeing that it said so many days, and looking back at the days I'd done. And it just occurred to me that, yeah, I've got to do 10,000 steps, and that seems like so much effort. But if I was to get to where I am now, if I didn't do my steps today and I woke up tomorrow and I was on day number 1 again, I'd have to do 3 months to get where I am now. So that really sort of struck a chord and made me think, well, that's silly, because I've got the choice of either doing all those steps again that I've done to get me to 3 months, or just doing the 10,000 steps a day. And for some reason that really worked and kept encouraging me to keep going. There's been times where, you know, I injured my back and I had to literally hobble to get them in. And the other thing I wanted to say was, you really don't have to, you know, commit to doing a marathon every day to make a health commitment. It can be something so sort of simple and easy, and well, not easy, but something that you can commit to that you can't really excuse your way out of it very easily. Just anything, even if it's sort of like 2,000 steps a day or 3,000 steps a day, just committing yourself to something, the sort of belief in yourself from doing it, that's the thing that I think you want to take home, because then that's something you can keep building upon. I haven't decided where I'm going to go from here. There is part of me that would love to up my steps to like 20,000 steps a day. I think that might be a little bit too ambitious right now. I haven't fully decided. For now, I'm just going to continue doing my 10,000 steps. I think I would prefer to work more in the direction of doing some other physical activities alongside it, but I haven't decided yet, and I'm sure I'll have a little think over the weekend. But I think going into sort of autumn, I'm gonna decide what direction I'm gonna take my fitness in. I've obviously quit the gym. I'd want to continue doing my bike rides. Definitely want to get back out hiking as soon as I can, because I haven't done that in so long. And I was actually looking back at some photos the other day and remembering how much I love being up in the mountains. It just feels like it was so long ago, and myself and Jim still both do really love hiking, but I think life has just really taken over, and I need to just do better at managing sort of all my plates that are spinning constantly, so that I have more time for like downtime activities. But yeah, I think I'm chuffed. I am chuffed with myself for doing it, because I do know on certain days how hard it's been. But having said that, it's become somewhat second nature now, so it's something that I feel like is just part of my everyday. And I have recently discovered that I can have a rest day after 6 consecutive days of doing my steps. I discovered that via having an injury which literally prohibited me from doing it a couple of weeks ago. I think I got to like 6,500 or something, and there was just no way, just absolutely no way. And I did feel really, really sad that I'd come so far. I was so close to doing it for a solid year. Although I hadn't set out to do a year, the closer the year mark got, I wanted to achieve that. So yeah, it was just really sad about the fact and the prospect that I wasn't going to do it. But I thought, oh well, you know, here I am, I've come this far, it's no big deal. Wake up the next day, looked at my step app to pick back up on starting my streak all over again, and discovered that I hadn't lost my streak. And then I discovered that after 6 consecutive days I can have a rest day. So obviously after like 340 something days, it was like, you need a rest, girl, have a rest, it's fine. So obviously there is that one day whatever, but I'm not too concerned. I'm still sort of like giving myself the kudos for coming this far. So I don't know, I still am going to do my 10,000 steps, but I just don't know whether in what capacity. I probably will take advantage of that rest day every now and again when it's needed. But yeah, that's it really. So I'm going to wrap up the video here, but before I do, I need to do this week's affirmation cards for us all to go into, I'm saying this new week, it's Thursday. Let's say the weekend. Let's say the weekend, so that we can go into the weekend with a nice little sort of message from the universe for our health commitments and wellness. Right, okay. Which ones to pick? I'm gonna go with this one, and I'm gonna go with this one. Let's have a little look and see what we have got. So I am in control of my health, and I make wise choices to nourish my body, to nourish and energize my body. And then we've also got, I nourish my body with food that fuels me and makes me feel energized and vibrant. Love it. So there we go, guys. There's our affirmations for this weekend ahead. I love them. I'm going to put them into my little block. And yeah, got quite a not so hectic, not as hectic as the previous 2 weekends, but I've got some sort of family celebrations and things coming up, so I'm looking forward to the opportunity to try my very best, to do my best, even though the opportunity to overindulge will be there, and we'll see where I got on Monday. So there isn't going to be a weekly vlog from this week, unfortunately, just as I've been unwell, and I was planning on picking it back up from whatever day I started to feel better. However, today is really the first day I felt much better, and I'm still not 100%, so I just thought I'm just gonna skip it for this week, just focus on getting better, and then pick it back up next week. But I am missing filming day today, so I'll definitely be filming my weekly vlog again from Monday, and also you'll have a weigh-in video on Monday. So until then, stay happy, healthy and well. Love you, bye.